this is the new Plaza of Holy Angels Mausoleum at Faulkner Memorial Park. Next. Next. Faulkner Memorial Park, you may know, it's in Sydney Road in the northern suburbs of Melbourne near the Ring Road. And Andy's just quickly flicked there to where the mausoleum is on the western periphery of the cemetery. Next. Our earlier atrium mausoleums, the circular building on the left, and our new mausoleum, the Plaza, is that long, I call it a panhandle shape at the top. And next. Well, I was going to say there was 1,760 square metres of COLORBOND roof in the appropriately named colour monument. So here's a floor plan of the mausoleum. You guys may not really know what a mausoleum is, especially when it's on this scale. Each of those little rectangles there is a crypt for a single coffin in a concrete, well, it's like a concrete vault. 98% of these crypts are bought by Italian Catholics, generally Southern Italians. In this building, there's 1,812 spaces, and they're disposed over 10 galleries that are east-west. You can see those grey lines running up and down on the page. And therefore, there's 18 rows of crypts. Next. So just before there, the building's 116 metres long, and each of the galleries is about 3.5 metres wide. Next. These are a couple of typical sections. So there you can see those little rectangles. That's one space for one person. So they're actually stacked 6 high. So to give you an idea of scale, there's some people there to give you that, but the ceiling height is 5.6 metres and the height to the parapet is 7.24 metres. And those sections are through the parts of the galleries where we have skylights letting light in from the top, because they're fairly long galleries and we want more light in from the top as much to balance the light that's coming in from each end. So that's giving you the dimensions of each vault is 2.4 metres deep, about 0.9 metres wide and about 0.7 high. So there's a lot of little full height concrete walls dividing up that mass. And therefore the key thing there is there's lots of concrete in one long block of crypts. And that gives you the opportunity to sit a steel structure directly on top of that very strong concrete block. And you'll see there that steel cantilever is quite a considerable amount past the galleries to give weather protection and rain protection. We'll talk about that in a minute. Next. For the client group, we produced a report describing how art, architecture and landscape would provide meaning and give a much more warmer human scale to this vast complex. So we might flip through those slides because you're a COLORBOND jury, so you're more interested in steelwork. But just holding there for a second, the central theme of the design and the iconography, we call it, of this building is motherhood and the role of mothers and fathers caring for, nurturing and caring, and in this case, not just your own children, but people that are less fortunate. So each of the rows of the crypts are named after 18 female saints who throughout history have dedicated their whole lives to serving people less fortunate. We wanted to do a female orientation here because a lot of the time the blokes get all the cred, the men saints. So we wanted to do a female dimension to it. And of course, the pinnacle of motherhood is the Holy Mother, Holy Mary. And she features very strongly in a minute. You'll see her. Next. Next. So the client group wanted a central open space to provide a gathering space and a new urban public space within the cemetery between the two buildings to knit them together. And those grey bands you see are the paving that goes from the street right into each gallery to draw people in. Next. There's Mary on the left, Mary the Holy Mother, a bronze sculpture by Darian Pullen, a well-known Melbourne sculptor. And on the right there, you can see it at one of the shorter galleries, so you can see a landscape through to the back of the cemetery there. Next. Another view of the piazza. Next. And this is a typical gallery with polished stone on each side, contrasting with timber to give some more warmth to it, to contrast with the memorial wall on the ceiling. Next. This is the entrance to one of the galleries. Again, we've used specially made brickwork to contrast with that polished stone. Next. And in the longer galleries, there's coloured glass panels hanging from the ceiling in the skylights, and they're angled in different directions to catch sunlight at different times of the day to wash coloured light onto the walls.
Probably worth mentioning there, Phil, also the use of COLORBOND as a soffit lining on the left-hand slide there.
Oh, that's right, Andy. Yes, sorry, you've got a photograph of that at the end. So we've used Jasper Monopanel in the ceilings. How do I describe it? The gallery ceilings are timber, and then the interstitial ceilings between each gallery are Monopanel, COLORBOND.
Just a minute and a half, Phil, so we'll move through.
Okay, next. Yes, next. Next. Stone colours, next. Yeah, that's iconography. Next is the roof.
Lamps.
Lamps we designed ourselves. Next. So the veil is what we call this stainless steel that wraps the whole building on all four sides together, perforated below the ceiling, solid above to the parapet. It's specially made to our detail in a brake press, and it's a solid stainless steel ladder frame supporting that veil, those curtains that give weather and rain protection and glare protection for the memorial walls. They're at 3.5 metres out. They also reflect the landscape.
Sorry, Phil.
That's okay. They also reflect the landscape because it's a it's a satin finish on the stainless. Next. And I think Andy's got a couple of, yeah, that's how you can see straight out through it, but it's more opaque when you're looking in. Andy's got some pictures here of construction photos of how that was made.
But there's the stainless steel framing for that stainless steel facade under construction.
Yeah.
There's the stainless steel cladding going up. There's this, the COLORBOND monopanel soffit linings. More of the stainless steel cladding, and that's our finishing slide.